the Invited Celebrity Classic, April 19th to the 21st. We've got the big names in golf being out there, as well as the big names that we know. John Smoltz is out there. Of course, Kevin Millar is going to be out there in Irving, Texas. Our own Albert Pujols as well. And Phil Nevin will be there as well. Most recently, the Angels manager. He was a coach for the Yankees and Giants, former All-Star, College Player of the Year back in the day for legendary Cal State Fullerton. And he joins us right now. Phil, it's Brian Kenny. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Brian. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too. Now, your son Tyler just got brought up by the A's, right? Just brought in, played last night. What is it like to watch your kid play Major League Baseball?
Well, I have done nothing but I've only been able to watch him on TV. The only time I've seen him live in a game is when I managed against him, which was a little more difficult than I thought. It'll be nice this year to be able to see both he and his little brother play live, if you will. My youngest son, Kyle, is with the Dodger organization, and he'll be in High A starting Friday in Great Lakes Loons, I believe they're called.
Okay. I don't know. Did you think that was happening? Again, you have kids, you're playing with them all the time thinking, yeah, this is the track, or did that surprise you?
You know, I think we look at our kids a little differently than we do other players. I mean, it's obviously been part of my job for a long time, but, you know, when they get recruited to college, and Tyler was offered a scholarship his sophomore year, and the first thing I said was, wow, you think he's really that good? I didn't get it.
Right. Maybe you've seen too much, you know?
Yeah, you're probably a little more, you're critical, if you will, of your kids, but it's, both of them have created their own paths. Tyler signed out of high school. Kyle went to Baylor University for 3 years and has got off to a good start with the Dodger organization. In fact, this weekend, it just so happens with Tyler getting claimed by Oakland from Baltimore, they're going to be in Detroit. They play a 1:00 game on Friday, and then that night at 6:30, Kyle's home opener up in Midland, Michigan, about an hour and 45 minutes north. So we're gonna be pretty cold, but we're gonna get to see both boys this weekend, so it'll be fun.
Excellent. Phil, looking back now that you try to process it, how was your Angels experience last year? With Trout hurt, Ohtani that whole year, Anthony Rendon hurt a lot. Processing it, looking back, how do you view it now?
I think everything we do in this game and our jobs and our lives, everything's a learning experience. I can't say you sit here and say, oh, I loved every minute of it. But I did. The relationships, I had a great coaching staff. I missed being around those guys. I went out to Arizona this spring, and we got the whole gang together for a little dinner. It was nice. I miss it. I certainly do. But take a year here, watch the boys, and do some things in the summer that I haven't been able to do. It's my first year in 32 years. I haven't been involved in baseball at this time of year. So a little bit of a transition. Thought I would just be playing golf and hanging out, but I can't lie. The last 4 or 5 days, I've sat in front of 3 TVs up in my room upstairs and watched a heck of a lot of baseball, and it's a lot easier from the couch, I can tell you that.
Right. What was having managed him for 2 years, what was your reaction to the Ohtani news that broke in Korea?
Just mostly just sadness, really. I know how close he and Ippei were, and I really don't know any details of anything, to be honest with you. They're 2 people I care a great deal about. Certainly have watched all the Shohei's at bats with the Dodgers. I got up at 3:00 in the morning when they were in Korea. Got to see him this spring when I was visiting my son in Arizona at Dodger camp. So really looking forward to watching him grow and be a part of that Dodger organization with Doc, a good friend of mine. So like I said, it's more sadness than anything because I know how close the 2 were. But I don't know any details on it, and I really don't care to. I just know that I love watching Shohei play. I love managing him for 2 years. Just a special person and player.
Right. We were just talking about Mike Trout too, Phil. And what was it like managing Mike Trout? I know he was hurt a lot for you, but what was it like managing him?
Well, I heard you guys talking a little bit before and the comparisons and everything like that. People forget Mike played 112 games 2 years ago and hit 40 home runs. And when Mike is healthy, when Mike is right. Really, he's still, to me, one of the tops in the game. There's no doubt about it. The 2 balls he hit last night are vintage Mike. I know he's motivated to have a great season. He hears the noise, and you guys ranking him low in the list now. It's just added for him, and just a freak injury last year with the hamate bone that cost him the second half of the season. But for me, Mike and healthy and plays a full season, no doubt he's still in that MVP conversation.
Yeah, Phil, I wanted to ask you, I'm interested. Again, you were a coach for the Yankees when they were routinely making players better, right? Being a player from the 90s, what's your view of baseball ops, the new age of information, maximizing performance? What's your view on how it's done these days?
Well, I certainly wish I had those resources when I played. I think anybody that's around the game now in that capacity thinks the same way. My time with New York was certainly eye-opening to a lot of things. The 4 years I was there, I think I evolved quite a bit in that role, learning under Aaron and Cash and the analytical staff there, and just the guys there were the way things work. I learned a heck of a lot from it. It made me better when I did get the job with Anaheim and understand how the inner workings of those things go. Like I said, I wish I had those resources when I was playing, but it's all about us evolving as coaches for the players, because the game's always ever changing, as you know, Brian. It really is. And I think the good ones in those jobs are the ones that evolve with the game that help the players the most. All
right, Phil, we appreciate your time. What should we know about the golf tournament? I take it you're a good golfer. It's hard to imagine you're not good, right?
I have a lot more time to play right now, that's for sure. But it's just something I've always loved doing. You mentioned some of the guys, Smoltz and Millar, and those dudes that I'll see out there, John Lester, Albert. You got to see him last spring, but it's a great time. It's a great fan experience for the people that in Dallas that are able to get to it. We get a chance to play with the senior tour players and really put us back in our place for those of us that think that this is something we can do when we get older like we are now. Just spend a couple holes out there with those guys, and you got no chance around them. So it's a lot of fun.
Good. April 19th, it starts again right outside of Dallas. Again, you can see it on the Golf Channel as well, and that's Phil Nevin. Phil, great talking with you. Hope to do it again. Thank you so much, and good luck watching your boys and enjoying that.
You too, Brian. Anytime.